$6,000 real money.
I
Boski's
love this.
sweating
The
over
award for most time banks goes to Boski. And look at this. And the longer you put Moneymaker here, I mean, are you just watching him squirm a little bit? Is this part of the plan?
Wake me up when he calls.
See?
This is the best hand I've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back for the cage. Day 2 has finally arrived after 3 grueling day 1s. Everybody is combining their stats, bringing them in to day 2, and there's a look at the belt that is going to go straight to the champ of this cage. So taking a look here actually on my spreadsheets on the side, you can see the chip leaders going into this day. Elliot Peterman, no surprise there. Gru, the DGen, you know him, you love him. You've battled him at the high stakes tables, coming in with $48,000. Chris Oliver over there, we've seen him on some of our feature tables over the last few days, $42.5K. Nagy up there in the $26K department. Anna Marquez up there as well. And it is just going to be sick. Ooh, look at that. We even got a live Boski sighting there in the back. Nagy waking up with another hand here. You know, at least he's not getting aces every other hand like he did yesterday.
Yeah. That'd be a tough life, aces every hand, eh?
You know, they're like, aces again? And you're like, yeah. Well, it was funny because he got like 2 black aces, then 2 red aces, then a red and a black ace. And we're like, all right, any other combos you need, bud?
Number 4 is full.
Cue the rigged emotes in chat.
I know, right?
And some legit hands here. I can't imagine Katie's actually. Yeah, she's out of there with that.
And the old battle of ace queen versus deuces. You know, at this feature table, I think we've actually seen deuces make like 3 or 4 sets.
Well, Alexander was only 1 away with that 3 on the flop.
Well, if you guys remember that big pot, I believe day 1, Cooler Central against Moneymaker and another player who was all in. It was ace king, ace jack, and deuces, and the board ran out ace, jack, deuce, king. So essentially, it was aces up, and bottom set. It was just gnarly.
That's what we refer to as a good old-fashioned super cooler.
Yeah.
And, Phil getting a super turn card here, making queens up. No longer on ace high, no longer behind, now with the best of it. Playing it defensively, giving Alex the rope to keep applying pressure. Maybe to try to bluff Phil off of a hand like 5s through 7s, or an ace high that didn't connect with the queen.
And that's exactly what he does. He exercises his right for that rope. He fires 350 now. And Phil reaching for what looks like more than 350. That is correct.
Just in raise here. Not wanting to give Alexander the opportunity to just check back the river and get a free showdown. Phil looking to raise the stakes right here.
And this is also where you get that information. Well, I was going to say, this is also where you get that information, too, if Alexander has a jack, right? I mean, because if he comes back over the top here, it's going to be some questions for Phil. But I think this should just work every time.
Well, the thing is, even if Alex has a jack, it's going to be pretty dicey for Phil, because a lot of the time he's just going to call with a jack. And having position is going to allow Phil to keep betting. Maybe thinking Phil could have some ace highs on the flop, which turned a diamond draw or something of that nature. Or maybe just saving face.
And he does find the fold.
Joe coming in with the min raise here. We saw Phil was doing the 2.25. Nacho going with the smaller sizing, which favors playing more hands.
C3 fold.
I think we got a teaser there. Ebony with a pretty legitimate hand here, given who's opening and where they're opening from. I think we're going to see a 3-bet here, Justin.
It's kind of funky, right? I guess. I mean, if she had more chips, we'd see a 3-bet. The problem is that with Ace Jack and only having 2K, it's already 10% of her stack. If we 3-bet and we're wrong, we have to fold and we leave ourselves super crippled. If we rip it and we're wrong, we leave ourselves at a super disadvantage. It's just a tough spot. I think Ebbs just kind of has to find the flat there. Not hating this flop though.
Number 5.
Yeah, I imagine with the stack to pot ratio being what it is, Ebony is not going to be folding this at any point.
Yeah. Thinking full button broken, looking for the complimentary double up. You just got to basically cross your fingers you're not up against the classic ace, king, ace, queen. In this case, we can see she would be up against Alexander's monstrositous flush draw here.
Number 2 bets 215.
Fortunately for Ebony, though, no overcards for Alex, so it's just a pure flush draw, and she'd be a pretty significant favorite.
For sure, she's just going to find the call. She did the double check back at her cards, probably seeing if that blackjack was a spade. Nagy's going to come along with a little random gutter.
And Nacho going to come along with a vote of confidence for everybody.
A good little table tap. Good pat. And this is going to make Alexander pretty much go absolutely nowhere at this point. Picking up a pair now, adding to his flush draw.
And I love the move by Ebony here.
Yes.
Absolutely
I couldn't agree more. Ebbs basically waits to see if there's no spade on the turn. She's like, I'm ripping, and that's exactly what she does. And Alexander
she also got
here.
He's calling.
Got a call once he improves with that pair as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think he's not going anywhere once he gets that pair, and she just has to dodge. Oh no, Ebony! Oh, GG's Ebbs. GG's.
We lost the Serpentress. He's leaving the building. Still gets the award for best hair though.
And this table just got a little less attractive. That's unfortunate.
Thanks, baby. I'll try.
Yeah, and as somebody who's been out to Costa Rica, I think now, oh God, 10 times. Yeah, that wasn't really a brag. That was just like, every time I'm out there, there's something new to see. And it's really, really, really exciting. I love going to the hot springs. Is one of my personal favorite things. Plenty of beaches, plenty of rainforests. Go to the zoo. See some sloths. Hang out. They can't run away from you. They're really slow.
Check.
Got Ebony Kenny in the chat. If you haven't yet, do make sure you give her a follow. We posted a link to her stream in the chat. She streams high-stakes poker, big tournaments, and occasionally runs her Bad Bee home game as well.
Absolutely. Ebony Kenny, we love you. Much love.
To bet $160.
You still win the award for best dressed and best hair by a mile. Not even close.
Six call.
Christian gonna make the call with ace high, beating all draws at this point with the ace high. Now 9-10 gets there, as well as queen 10, queen 9 gut shots also improved to a pair. Clubs miss. Straight draws. Other straight draws miss. Ace 4, ace 5, 4, 5. Imagine Alex probably follow through with bluffs here. Question is how thin he'd go for value. Nice blocker bet.
$80.
10% of the pot. Is it solver approved, Justin?
The old 10% bet. It's like the old one big blind bet where I'm like, I don't want to fold this, but they know I have nothing. I just want to almost call it to not be exploited.
I feel like you're not allowed to fold to the bet that small ever. And
It's raised
Christian,
$800.
for the raise. Question is, did Alexander do this to induce? Or did his defensive bet just backfire right in his face?
Pretty strong. He said, hey, I see your bet and I'll 10x it. Christian
Imagining
versus Alexander. Battle of the Stone Cold Faces here. Alexander in the
Going into the
tank
time
uses
bank
some
here?
time cards, yeah.
Thinking about it. Alex asking, what is Christian representing here? Went check on the flop. Christian called the turn bet and now raising the river.
Clearly no posturing from Alex here. I mean, Alexander, he's now used two time cards, 3 time cards. I mean, he's seriously got a choice here. Perhaps thinking about calling light-ish. Doesn't have any sort of snap decisions. And
It's like a one pair type holding. Can't figure out what Christian could legitimately have here.
Christian putting Alex in the blender. I don't think I've seen Alex take this much time on any decision yet after every single time we've seen him at this table. Really not believing it. Some alarm bells going off. And Christian just trying to remain calm and not let his pulse fly out of his neck here with his stone cold bluff.
Call.
Wow, finds the call! Oh my god, what did he call with?
There it is.
Pair of threes, 3-4.
Fucking hero. What a fucking hero. What do you
Listen
do with
to
all my
Nacho.
people?
That's why we love Nacho on the feature
You
table.
love too much.
2-3.
He
2-3.
was very
Him.
easy. I
Yeah,
played,
2-3.
he was bad.
I don't know the twos though.
Whatever, I had top 2 here. 3-bet pot. Yeah.
All right, public service announcement here in the chat, folks. Note to self, do not bluff Alexander. Good luck with that.
Can't imagine Kristen's going to be passing. Question is, how is he going to choose to continue?
It's a 6 call.
Just for the call. It's 1,400 in the middle. 10K behind. Top pair for
a
Christian.
6 check.
Good kicker. Guess we see Nacho continue.
And you love to see when you're Christian with that ace queen, you love to see when they flip those cards over the ace right in the window. So you're like, well, at least we got that. Let's see where the rest of this hand takes us.
Sit 1 bet $400.
Whatever comes after that, simply a bonus.
And Nacho going a little under third pot here.
Very small bet here. It's pretty much what you'd expect on the ace high board, a 3-bet pot. Has the so-called range advantage on this board, so he's going to be continuing with a bet, but doesn't typically want to bet big.
Raise 1,450.
That seat is unlucky. I don't want to be.
And it looks like we're going upstairs. We're going to make it a little over a
1,400
1,000 on top. Yeah, oh, it is going to be 1,000 even on top.
Christian letting Nacho know if he wants to see this turn in river, it's going to cost him. No cheap flop bet followed by a turn check. And there is our zoom. Even got a little eyebrow over those shades.
Actually, this is also where I want to make sure my glasses are really clean because they're gonna look like mirrors with these
10
cameras
seconds.
here.
Sit 1 call.
Nacho
He
continuing.
is gonna. Oh yeah! Wow, 4,200 in the pot now, and this board getting a little bit more spicy. Christian also picking up a Broadway draw now. And there is the
wow,
eyebrow cap.
the
Look at that.
eyelash cam.
Wow, count the lashes, folks. That's intense.
Frosted
10
tips on those eyelashes, even.
Sit 6 check.
Hey,
Christian.
everybody had their frosted tips period, okay?
Yeah, I was in there too.
So what are we thinking
Speaking of-
Nacho with a mystery hand might have here? Any ideas?
Well, I mean, he did call the flop check raise, so I'd imagine we have to have at least a pair to do that, unless he's getting super frisky with gut shot and a backdoor flush draw. So we're probably looking at some kind of ace.
2,500.
Maybe some Jack X, Jack Queen, Jack 10 with a backdoor flush draw. Don't think those would be betting there. So he's looking to turn into a bluff. And Christian with a good hand, but in a tough spot, because Nacho can still have all the ace kings, all the ace jacks. And he's got to be thinking about what semi-bluffs Nacho can be finding here. Feels like he has to continue, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of two pairs in Nacho's range here, like you said. And ace queen is just good enough because you have the draw, you have a good kicker, you can obviously hit a queen that may or may not be good either. But yeah, I mean, you could be up against ace jacks, ace kings, ace deuces here, ace deuce suited.
10 seconds.
Oh, all
What is
in!
a jam?
And snap fold by Nacho. Snap fold by Nacho. Wow. And elects to go with it. So interesting spot there. So Christian with the check raise on the flop, correct? And then the check rip on the turn.
Yeah.
I can't.
Just decides.
I can't. Oh, go for it. Yeah. Basically, my thought is that it's. Yeah. Sorry. I want to hear you. I want to hear you. Go for it.
Well, he's just kind of deciding that Nacho's a splashy enough player there, type of player to call that flop with a jack and then start bluffing with it on the turn, and just says, you know, if he's actually got the goods somehow, he could have my stack. Gut shot for the outs anyway. Knows that Nacho's going to be wide enough there, and I guess just wants to make him pay the full amount.
Sid wants re-raise.
Right.
550.
Our favorite, another Nacho 3-bet.
Sid 2 folds. Sid 3 folds. Sid 5 folds.
I mean, I'm kind of seeing it's the Nacho Christian Alexander show. I mean, for the most part, those three going hard.
Yeah, and are these cards correct? I feel like Christian had the ace-4 suited a minute ago.
Call.
These guys aren't.
You're actually
magicians.
allowed to swap cards in the cage. You can just like do a little like, okay, go fish, swap a card. Yeah, you can do that. It's one of those new poker things we're trying out.
Sid 6 checks.
And in case you guys missed that, chat, that's known as sarcasm.
Works very well in spoken word, not so much in text messages.
I mean, unless it's something like, unless you're talking to somebody like Chris Moneymaker, then you know that everything is just explicit sarcasm.
Nacho, once again, smallish bet on a pretty dry board here.
I like that small-ish.
Christian's going to be
Sid
playing
6
along.
call.
Yeah, not slowing it down. Let's go.
Sid 6 checks.
And I think Christian picking up the straight draw, but according to the current graphics on screen, it may be Nacho who has the straight draw. The
We
action
traded cards.
will tell. Wow, the shades within the shades.
Sid
I
1
noticed
bet,
that, man. Like, these
2,000.
camera angles, are these guys special effects like Hollywood guru guys right here? This is magical.
Wow, we got a shot of him through her glasses. Next level.
Now, if we could get Christian to rock some glasses, too. I want to see glasses through glasses through glass. I want to see triple glass cube deception.
10 seconds. Sid 6 calls.
Big bet from Nacho gets called. Maybe Christian
two-
doesn't have the ace-4.
Wow, 2K, a big old chunk. Oh, chips. And game on. We have a black plaque
Six
in
checks.
the middle. This might be the first pot where I have a black plaque in the middle right here. Black plaque's worth 5K, black chips worth 100. And this pot, 6,200 and some change. Christian checking over to Nacho on this river, where if these cards are correct, Nacho does river the ace.
$10.
And with how he has bet, should have knocked Christian off of most superior ace-high hands, unless they happen to be with clubs as well. If he has indeed narrowed Christian's range to pocket pairs or tens, may be room to get a little bit of value here with an ace.
Check.
Obviously nervous about ace 10. Does check.
Oh, ace
queen
queen
with
for
the clubs.
Christian. Wow.
With the
Yep,
clubs.
yep. You knew it. You knew it. Wow. I'll tell you what. That river, that could have gotten a little spicier right there. But gonna be dragging basically a full-size pot at that point. He only had one pot-size bet left behind, so going to be a good plus $3,300 there to Christian stack. And welcome back to the Christian Nacho Show.
60.
Could spell trouble for Katie.
Someone
Ace
give me
queen
10
sub
more.
20 blinds, usually a hand that's going to
Erase.
find its
All
way
in
into
and
the middle with
63.
all the chips.
And it looks like Katie is going to find this spot to get it all in with the ace queen, but unfortunately going to run it into the ace king of Alexander. Going to need to get real lucky here.
Queen, please.
There's always 5 opportunities.
That's 20, please.
Find a lady.
Meanwhile, Moneymaker showing off his back muscles there.
I feel like it's Moneymaker from the headphones. That's what I read.
Yeah.
The rest of
All
it
right,
I'm
we got
not
some
really
chopper-
used to seeing.
Some opportunities, maybe. Oh, king ball. Oh no, that's gonna seal the deal. Rip, Katie, Lindsay, we love you. And man, why did we make the 2 cutest girls leave the table? That's just rude.
Best dressed gone. Second best dressed gone. Hopefully they'll make up for it with whoever's going to be filling one or both of those seats. I think we should get Moneymaker to come over, no shirts allowed. He needs to just come over exactly like that and play the rest of the day. Shirts versus skins.
It's so good because you know that this camera is going to be able to see that, right? And it's just zero shits given. He's borderline getting a sponge oil bath at the table while watching Netflix and playing for $100,000. God bless this man, Chris Moneymaker.
Boski
And
really
Boski's
trying to
just
hide
trying
his
not
eyes there,
to
you
look.
can see.
Oh, it's amazing.
Phil is
Phil?
raising. 650 total.
Finding a nice playable hand here with the King 9 suited. And we've been waiting for it. It's been Christian versus the world minus Phil. Now Phil going to be joining that party. It's officially Christian Roberts versus everybody.
Is it
Free
Scott
rate.
Pilgrim versus the world?
1500 total.
Yep.
There it is.
Great movie, actually.
C2 is folding.
Definitely underrated.
Stakes getting very high here. Phil facing the 4-bet.
C5 it's
Not.
folding as well.
Not going to get involved with that troublesome King 9 suited. Oh, and is this is that Anthony D who's just joined us?
I believe
If so,
we
it's a
have seen
massive
him-
stack.
Yeah, we've seen him at, I believe we saw both these players, obviously, at previous feature tables over the last several days.
I think I saw Anthony starting the day with about 50,000 high 40s, and I believe he played all 3. Oh, rocking that nice brand new ACR Poker hat.
I'm gonna, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's our man there. 4 black flats, 4 golds, and a whole bunch of chips to go with.
Oh man, just seeing this cage post here with some of the stacks coming into today. They have Mr. Longcar listed as Michael Longcard.
Number 2.
Yeah, on card.
That's amazing.
Phil Nagy with the 2 L's. Katie.
Oh, it's so
Raise
good.
Say.
200.
You know, spelling is just, again, it's just more of a suggestion, really.
Huh?
Yeah, look at that stack of black plaques right there. Holy jeez. Look, he doesn't even have room to put his cards on the reader. He's got so much in front of him.
Seat
Holy
5
wow.
is calling.
Indeed. There's a new chip leader in town.
Wow.
Anthony D on 40,000. So we didn't get the big personalities that we
Player
were
6
asking for, but we did get the big
Player
stack
1 calls.
that we were asking for. Could see some fireworks.
Yeah.
Progressed.
New shooter.
There's 4 players in the hand.
Oh, and the
Number
set of
6
deuces shows its face again at the
One
feature
check.
table. No surprise there. Christian
And a
doing
top
Christian
2 pair.
things.
Seat 2 checks.
Oh my god, this is cooler central. Good lord, and both of them have chunky stacks too. Buckle up, folks.
Nacho doesn't know it, but he's really hoping for Phil to
5,
check
that's
through here, and
300.
this is going to spell disaster. As now the betting
God.
has been opened, and we have 2 monster hands in the blinds.
No.
Oh god, and Nacho
Wow, and
comes
it
in
just
for a
called
big
too.
raise. Oh
How-
god,
how would he
this
not?
is gonna be disgusting. I know. This is disgusting. So then he's going to raise. Phil's going to get out of the way. Then Christian's going to come back swinging, and it's going to get very, very loud and awkward. Nacho is going to get vocal. Buckle up, folks.
10 seconds. Seat 1. It's
It's 1,200.
1,200 total.
There are
Danger.
still
5.
there's still 2 jacks and 2 8s left in the deck. It's a sure thing here. Now
I
the
mean,
question is if you're
regardless of
Christian-
what comes out, it's going to be a large bloodbath pot, regardless of who takes this here.
Yeah. Only cards that might slow the action down a little bit are a queen and a 7. And I think regardless,
10
these hands are so
seconds.
strong, the money's going to be going in anyway, one way or another. It's just a question of when.
Huh? He calls.
Pago, that means call.
Oh my god, Christian played this so good. You got to be feeling so good after you just call Nagy's button bet there, and then you get Nacho raising. I mean, still, that's nobody's going anywhere. I mean, I guess Nacho could be fearing hands like Jack 10, perhaps, but
Yeah, I think it's just way too many hands he can still get value from that aren't Jack 10. That he's going to keep firing here.
yeah, this is going to get nasty. And I think also, short of coordinating this board, I think Christian, this is where he pumps it up here. So Christian, I think, checks over to Nacho, hits him with a strong check raise, and it's going to get expensively
10
weird.
seconds. $2,400.
Oh, God.
Now, what do we think? We're Christian. A lot of draws out there. Is it time to just lay the hammer down and
Yes.
put it all in?
Yeah, you never want to just slow play again here and have like a 9 roll off or a queen or a 7 and 4 cards straight to the board. You just never want to see any of that, especially hearts too, random backdoor hearts, even an ace. If somebody, yeah, I mean, he never has queen king here, but yeah, you just lay the hammer down if you're Christian.
He calls.
Whoa, just kidding.
Wanting to give Nacho maximum rope, and it's going to be a card that kills the action. I think
I
Christian
know.
cost himself here by not
Okay.
taking the lead at any point.
24, right?
I think Christian absolutely cost himself. He could have got all the money on the flop or the turn.
Checks.
We'll hear it from Nacho.
Great start.
The
Sorry.
Moneymaker con shirt.
Okay.
You like that? Fresh off the massage. The oil has dried, and the chips are going to get greasy. Let's do it.
So I think we had Alexander with a 3-bet here. Charles defending from the button. On the board we typically expect
10
Alex
seconds.
to continue on. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Alex Carr, one of the creators of Poker, the backing stable. I think that's the car in Poker.
Oh. Oh, well, there you go. So clearly has been around the game just a little bit. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah. Ops. It's not bad at that board. Send it over
Check.
to Charles, who I don't know too much about. Did you see anything from Charles on any of the day ones?
I did not. I just know that he's in charge. Charles in charge. That's about all I have there on Charles.
Okay. Checks back, giving Alexander a second chance to fire at this pot. Can't wait till we get a zoom in there. Looks like that might be an old school beast logo
10 seconds.
on Alexander's hoodie there.
It's betting.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
sorry about that, chat. Couldn't help myself with the old Charles in charge joke. I'm sure he's totally never heard it with a name like that.
He's calling.
For all intents and purposes, bricks off here. It's jack high. Worst of it. Trying to decide if there are any weaker parts
10
of
seconds.
Charles' calling range that may fold to another barrel.
He
Small
calls.
bet 500.
and calls.
That's not going to get anything done. And Charles going to take down an almost $5,000 pot.
Wow.
Pair of aces, jack kicker.
Welcome to the party right off the bat. Yeah,
22,000 even.
yeah, 22,000 for the Boski, man. Spin her up.
4 players.
Is this, are we Moneymaker flicking it in with the old double down?
Check.
Yeah, sometimes he does get mistaken. He thinks he's at the blackjack table, he's at the poker table, vice versa. It does happen to the best of us.
Check.
Boski, speaking of the best of us, he's got the best of it here. Top pair aces, decent kicker, backdoor flush draw. Not much for the other players to find with, other than Moneymaker. Middle pair.
900 raise, C3.
Oh,
He's gonna go ahead and
Moneymaker's
semi-bluff with
starting
it.
Yep, Moneymaker's starting to get a little out of line, and I like it already. Boski, thinking, what are you doing to me here?
Chris Moneymaker decided to check raise me with mid pair. Don't really know what he was doing, but I obviously put in the call, as was taught to me by Ben CB at RazorEdge.com.
Solid. Register today, promo code Boski. So good. What a great impression.
Boski!
Boski.
You know that if you subscribe to the channel, it's not going to me. It's going to the pups. Care about it. Adopt, don't shop, my friends.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was just about to say that.
Moneymaker saying 2,500.
Wow.
Boski's still having the best of it, but a little cause for concern.
Shrinking up real
Moneymaker
quickly
follow
after
through.
this board pair is here, right? I mean, you don't have it. You're playing the board now as a kicker. Life is not amazing. But it's a moneymaker, right? It's so polarizing. Like, is he just doing exactly what he's doing right now with 8-3? Or
Yeah, he could have
Boski's-
pocket eights or 8-3 offsuit.
Boski making the call, and will Moneymaker go for another max barrel on the river to blow him off? Let's see. 7,700 in the pot already. 6 ball on the
Yes.
river. Let's see what money
Feeling
does.
pretty laxed. Laxed
He's
from
trying
that
to make
massage.
money.
And
Oh, 6
6,000.
dimes.
Raise. Bet, sorry.
6,000. Putting Jeff
Just a
Boski to the
chunk.
test.
Third of his stack. Boski has to decide, do I have
Okay.
kicker problems or is Moneymaker just getting out of line?
It is very ill-advisable to call a check raise followed by 2 barrels with just 1 pair, no kicker. But this is Chris Moneymaker fresh off a massage with the shirt on. Hard to know. Could be on the other side of those 2 paint cards.
Boski's really going to have to reach down deep to find this call, but if he does, I will be thoroughly impressed.
4, 3.
$6,000 real money.
I
Boski's
love this. The
sweating
award for most time banks goes to Boski. And look at this. And the longer you put Moneymaker here, I mean, are you just watching him squirm a little bit? Is this part of the plan?
Wake me up when he calls.
See?
This is the best hand I've ever seen.
I'd really love it if in the end he calls and said, you know, I was planning on calling the whole time. I just really wanted to make you sweat it to the maximum. Caught the tell when you accidentally flashed me your hand on 4th Street, but... How many's he got left there?
He has
3?
3,
Okay.
just 3. Already used, what, 12?
Oh,
And he folds?
Oh, no! Wow.
fall.
Call full time bank.
I can wake up now.
Can't blame
what's
Boski
this?
for folding there.
It couldn't have been ace full.
Let's listen to this. Let's listen to the table talk, see if we get some info here.
If it was eights full, it's probably a faulty deck.
I would have been a 6 lower. Nice hand.
I would have been the sickest slow roll on the planet, actually, if he just had a monster.
He's gonna get to see mine. He wouldn't show me his on the other table over there.
I got it on video.
Yeah, I think.
I got it on video. I got it. Nice hand, Chris.
No, he told me what he had. So
Says
You know, that was
we'll
probably
wait
one of my
30 minutes
favorite
for the result
hands.
to set in.
looking at his cards, hoping they change.
It's made it to the top 5
You asked-
cage hands of 2023.
Dude, you asked me about favorite hands. My favorite hands. My favorite hand is using every time placard on the planet and then just folding the best hand.
100 raise.
I mean, you can't feel comfortable about it. I mean, nobody envies that spot if you're Boski. I mean, Chris applied absolute maximum pressure points there. But, damn, I do agree with some of the sentiments in the chat that once you put Chris in the box that long, his antics did kind of make it feel a little weak, like head down, whatever, wake me up when he's this. But Chris is the kind of player who does that with the nuts, too. So you can't, like, just weigh all, you can't weigh essentially, I guess, what, $6,000 on that, right? But, man, wow, what a hand.
Chris checking how close we are to seeing the truth.
God, they did get it wrong.
I mean, yes, I have seen plenty of card reader errors. I'm actually talking about, like, people using their...
Oh, here he goes. He's saying they got it wrong. Sure, Chris.
Yeah, you didn't have 8-3? Oh, I had 8 deuce, I think.
Get out of here, Chris! Shut up!
No, I think what's more likely, that I misread it or the
Player 3 falls.
Oh, God.
it messed it up.
Player 4
It messed it
falls.
up.
Let's listen to Chris try to sell this here. This ought to be
Player
fun.
5 falls.
I
Took up the whole. There's no. You can't even tell.
I
It's so
know.
blurry.
No, you can tell.
Okay.
Player 6
Yeah, the incoming
raise
text
200.
screen.
It always does.
Oh, yeah, Chris's font size on his phone is like font size
Player 1
200.
falls.
It's like one word fills up the whole screen. It's pretty impressive.
Player 2 calls.
Like those giant book-sized playing cards. The jumbos.
$6. They have my hand wrong, so they think I'm bluffing here.
They had my hand wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That looks
Player
horrible.
2 bets 450.
Casey thinks she's got a good flop. And there's a better flop for Alex. Flopping top 2.
Oh, it's a tough spot for Casey here.
8-3. Turn my hand into a bluff. 8 deuce. Sure, Chris?
Oh my God.
Right away.
10 seconds.
I don't even know what the truth is.
I don't either.
You know what the truth is.
I know. told you it was a bad
Raise
hand.
1350.
That sucks. Now Boski's getting like extra. I'd rather just know one way or the other. Now Boski can't even get confirmation on what he had. That's rough.
I was going to see if you were going to call or not on the stream.
I'm pretty sure from where we're at, the RFID's been
No,
off.
I'm
for
an
a
ace,
time.
so why would you bet? I mean, do you expect me to fold an ace?
Obviously. Well, guess what?
10 seconds.
We're gonna let Moneymaker keep trying to sell his story here.
We're even for what you did to me.
Player
earlier.
2 calls.
No, you own me in that one too.
All right, so it looks like Casey's gonna fire here,
You
right?
see?
Alex gonna come in for a raise.
But I still
Casey
gave
calling
you-
the raise. We're going to have, 2x pot behind, not even actually, 1 and change. Casey picking up a gut shot
Player
here.
2 checks.
Could spell trouble.
I said, man, it'd be crazy if you misread your hand and showed it or something.
I think they misread my cards. Hey, are you sure the thing's working?
They gotta check their scanners.
This is probably the most elaborate bluff I've ever witnessed. A bluff that keeps on bluffing.
It's fun having you in the blender when it's already on stream.
I don't know what to believe.
10 seconds.
You rocked up well.
That's hilarious.
They're probably just trolling
Player
in the
6 is
booth.
all in.
And Casey's still
With the
5K
all in.
behind. She just
Not
can't
even
figure the
3 and-
6.
About a pot size bet.
If you're in Casey's
Blocking
shoes
the
here,
straight.
how are you feeling? She is, exactly. And that's the only problem is that, I mean, I guess, is there a world where it's just a random, like, is he doing this with a random, like, ace-9 type hand? Are we ever worried about 9-7, 6-9? I mean, it's, I don't know.
I think we got to be worried about the sets and the 2 pairs, and then in terms of what we're beating, you know, Jack 10 of hearts,
3,775.
beating that.
75.
Queen 10, King 10 of hearts, Ace 10 of hearts. Those decide to raise the flop would probably follow through on the turn with a jam here, picking up a gut shot to go with it. A fun spot to be in if you're Casey.
Ten seconds.
She knows not many value hands that she beats. Alex, capable of running a big bluff here. What do we think, chat? Will Casey find the
10
fold here?
seconds.
And the answer is
Player
yes.
2 calls.
Impressive awareness there from Casey, recognizing what looked good at first, in light of additional information, was not such a good situation anymore. That's
I like it. Great fold by
protects the
Casey.
stack. Charles grabbing
Player
some
5,
3-bet and
it's
chips.
racing. 950 total.
Gotta think player 3 will be continuing.
I would love if Charles
That's
just looked at Chris right now and said, let me guess, 8 deuce? 8-3? No?
Heads up.
Got shots
Yeah,
for
looks
both.
like Jack.
Moneymaker with 2.
Yeah, I was going to say. What is that, Jack 9, deuce 3?
Jack 9 doesn't could be a deuce, could be a 3. We don't know what the RFID.
That's exactly what I was asking, actually. I was just figuring if Chris is in there, it could be a deuce or a 3. They're kind of interchangeable, I guess it sounds like.
Imagine Chris will be going anywhere here.
Moneymaker is calling.
Oh, he's been promoted from player 3 to Moneymaker.
Ooh.
Check. Check.
Oh, the card. I was thinking if there's one card that's going to give us some action.
Oh, that Chris stare down. I just want to like screenshot that right there.
Check.
Ew, check over to Chris, who you know is going to go for some value, right? 4,400. He never checks this behind. 2,500. This is going to be a
2,500.
snap, probably from Carl or from Charles here.
Too much hand on the river to get away.
Yeah, and he's going to see the bad news. I mean, it's exactly what you're doing there. You're basically just check calling to keep all the bluffs in his range. Hopefully your king's good. You pick up a big pot. And it's just not. I mean, I guess there's worlds where you could fear that he could have ace king and just got there, you know. But, yeah, hands like that, king, queen, ace, king. You just have to call there. Your hand's too strong when you river that, and all the draws brick.
34 players remaining. Big pot poker all day and big giveaways in the chat as well. Current keyword claim in the chat. Get it in.
Poker, baby!
Seat 1 checks.
That's a big flop right there, which should bring out that big pot poker we were talking about. Top 2 for Rob.
And this is kind of what we were talking about in that cooler central, bro. I mean, it's not quite set over set, but it's not far off. There will be blood.
I think with all the draws out there, Valentin is not going to make the mistake that we saw earlier of over slow playing. We'll probably see some chips going in the middle right here.
And it's the case. And the thing with Rob, too, right, is if, you know, I mean, let's play the old blockers, right? Okay, well, you're blocking pocket 10s. You're blocking pocket 8s, right? Okay, so do they have 4s? I mean, let's just buckle up, folks. Get out the popcorn. This could be brutal.
Yep.
Children, look away. Viewer discretion is advised. This is where your college fund goes when dad's at the table.
He did say he
Rob has
wanted
no
to torch
kids.
his stack.
Oh God.
It's racing.
Oh, asking you
Today
shall
on
receive.
the
2,700.
Saturday edition of Torching Cash on the ACR show with Justin Kelly, Rob Kuhn quick
Featuring
get back
Rob
with the second
Kuhn.
best hand.
Rob Kuhn and Valentine going at it.
It's 27.
Valentine just with the stare down thinking, what am I going to do with his entire stack in the bank?
2,700, right? All in?
Snap jams.
Oh,
Rob
God.
confirmed he's got top 2 and
Call it.
Yeah. That's going to be rough. Big pot here. Rob thinking hopefully Valentine was doing that with some sort of double draw, right? Like Jack Queen or 9 Jack of Hearts. And that's not going to do it. Going to need to find that 10 ball. Can't find it. And that's going to be a healthy double for Valentine there. It's going to make the dealer get out of her chair for it. $11,000 getting added to Valentine's stack. Chipping Rob down to the 30K range. That was just, that's just cooler central, man. They turned on the freezer, brought out the ice cubes for that one. There's really nothing else you can say about that.
9, 10.
Like I said, with the blockers, Rob essentially thinking, hey, you got a set of 4s, you got a set of 4s. But, you know, Valentine would have also did that potentially with, like, you know, a double draw, huge combo draw, like 9 Jack of Hearts. He could have easily done that. I mean, maybe not so much for Jack Queen of Hearts because it's more like a gut shot and a flush draw. But, you know, open-ended combo draw there. What are you going to do? Would he have done that with 2 pair? He could have done that with possibly 10-4. Maybe. Doubtful, though. It's just kind of a tough spot if you're Rob. I think you just kind of have to call because if you're folding there, it's just way too nitty and way too exploitable on the long. Folding there on the regular basis, you're folding everything ever.
Yeah. Especially with a Solver Central and seats 5 and 6, Rob would never hear the end of it if he folded something so high up in his range.
And the sick part is even if he folds correctly there, they're still going to give him shit. Be like, bro, I don't know if you can be folding that. You know what I mean? Like that's the sick part. Rob's like, yeah, play all these days just to get it cooler. I mean, that's we talked about. That's poker. It's navigating the minefield, right? I mean, you're literally tiptoeing through minefields all day long, just trying not to step on one. And when you do, it hurts.
We're heads up.
Yep.
Rob seeing if he can get a little redemption here, and that is all the ducks in the pond right there. Whiff City for everybody.
Took me a long time to figure out why they were called ducks.
I could see why they're called ducks.
Yeah, it looks like a swan swimming across the top of the water.
Bets. 280. Calls.
Making a great read here, knowing his queen high is the best hand.
And now,
More certain
just in
about
case
that.
it wasn't, yeah, you don't have any question there. You're like, hey, if you got a deuce, good for you. But I think we're just taking this all the way.
It's like Anna winning another pot there in the back row.
Ten seconds.
I don't think there's a whole lot of reason for Randall to keep firing
That's
here, but he is going to.
$550.
Just knowing Rob is a very sticky player. Type of guy you want to run too many bluffs against.
Call.
I put Rob in the Anna category that we talked about where they just really, really, really dislike folding. And the old boat reversal's a fun change of pace here for Rob. Now this is funny because in the weird world, we know this isn't the case, but if Randall did have a big pocket pair, he actually does the old boat flipperooski and would make jacks full instead of deuces full.
Yeah, Rob now would be ahead of any overpair. This could get Randall into a little bit of trouble that he may think with the running jacks coming on the board that they're chopping. It's not that likely for Rob to be holding overpairs given he didn't 3-bet preflop, so it's really just a jack or a deuce.
11.
I understand Randall falling to run that particular river. But, it's not going to take too long before Rob gives him the bad news. Now, and interesting, if you're Rob, do you go for a small raise here? Because
I was just thinking that same thing, actually. No.
10 seconds.
I could definitely see a case for a raise. Oh, that's not the small raise. That's a lot of black plaquage. Those black plaques are 5K, folks.
25 total.
Oh, just 25K, huh?
Couldn't be.
It's very nice that you just move
The
those
statement:
blocks
all
forward.
your chips are belong at risk.
That's disgusting, right? You never want to call your entire life off for just a board pair or a board chop. And easy game there. Rob picking up, well, let's see, he did lose about 10K to Valentine in that hand. Just picked up about 2,500, so got a quarter of it back from a different player, but still got a quarter of it back.
Attention to all cage players, you're on a 30-minute break. 30 minutes break.
Here's the announcement.
For completion of the hand.
I believe him. And that is going to do it for this hand. So once again, one last look at the stacks as there it is, climbed it back. So Elliott started the day. Elliott started the day with 48K, now up to 50K. So did climb back up a little bit. Rob scraping back some chips in his stack. Justin Kelly alongside Mr. Evan Jarvis. And when we come back, action continues.